the sports page with the Orlando Sentinel and FM 96.9 The Game's Mike the Bulldog Bianchi.
On JRR.
Bulldog Sports Page brought to you by Rock, Freedom, and Fireworks. You get a jump on the 4th of July. That is kind of what the city of Longwood has been doing for the last few years, and we're going to join them on Saturday. Taco there at Ryder Park off of 434 starting at 5. You get exactly what's in the title, Rock, Freedom, and Fireworks.
You know it, plus music, you get food, you get drink. It's going to be a good time, and it's absolutely free to get in. Ryder Park in right there in Longwood.
And it culminates with the fireworks Saturday night, so hope you can join us for that. The Bulldog, Mike Bianchi, is on the horn from the luxury condo somewhere deep in the bowels of Metro West. What's up, dog?
The Bulldog has some breaking news this morning. You can read all about it in my column at OrlandoSentinel.com. A massive leadership change within the Orlando Magic organization. Longtime CEO Alex Martin is departing as the CEO as the club begins making the transition to the third generation of the DeVos family running the team. Martins is stepping down from his role. 14 years he's been the CEO. He's transitioning into a newly created position of vice chair, whatever that means. So he's no longer going to be running the day-to-day operations. Ryan DeVos, the grandson of Rich DeVos, steps into a larger leadership role. He's going to be the, quote, managing director. Charlie Freeman, who's been with the Magic for about 30 years, he's the new president of business operations. And another Rich DeVos grandson, Cole DeVos, will relocate to Orlando at the beginning of the next season to become part of the management team as well.
This all as the NBA draft starts tonight.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So, new leadership change within the Magic. We'll see how that works out. You can read my column about Alex Martins at OrlandoSentinel.com. Yeah, the NBA draft tips off tonight. Cooper Flagg of Duke, obviously going to be the number 1 overall pick. The Dallas Mavericks will get him. Where the Magic go with their number 25 pick, nobody knows. Although there are a lot of mock drafts who think that Walter Clayton Jr., the Gators star point guard who led them to the national championship, could be available at number 25. I mean, I would love to see the Magic get Walter Clayton Jr. I don't know that they really need another young player.
You think he'd want to stick here in Florida for that little tie?
I think he'd like to. Yeah, I think he wants to get drafted in the first round.
That and the whole no state income tax thing is a big perk as well.
Yeah, I think he would love to stay in Florida. He's from Florida. He grew up in South Florida. So yeah, I think he would love to stay in Florida. Will the Magic take him? I don't know. Heck, last week we thought they were going to have 2 first-round draft picks, but of course they traded a bunch of draft picks to get Desmond Bane of the Memphis Grizzlies here. So now they only have the 1 draft pick at number 25.
So they're in no position to wheel and deal and move about in this after that move, right?
No.
Right. Okay.
In fact, one of the reasons they traded all those first-round draft picks for Desmond Bane, well, Desmond Bane's a good player and one of the best three-point shooters in the league, but the other reason is because they already have a bunch of young players on their team.
Right.
You know, they have Anthony Black, who they're still developing, Jet Howard, Tristan Da Silva, so, you know, there's not really a lot of room on the roster to develop another young player. But again, at number 25, if you could get a Walter Clayton Jr., who's a great three-point shooter in its own right, you know, plus he'd be popular with the fans. So,
dude, I see no problem with developing one more youngster while you're doing the others. Just throw them in there as well. Look at OKC, what they were able to pull off, you know, with the young squad.
Yeah, we were talking about OKC yesterday. OKC, even though they're the best team in the league and the youngest team in the league and the championship team, they still have a bevy of draft picks. They have 2 first-round draft picks ahead of the Magic's number 25 pick tonight.
Wow.
So,
yeah. You see him on that parade float yesterday, and you think, wait, should we card a few of these guys that are squirting all the that are squirting?
I was watching that parade. When you guys watch parades, I mean, you've been in Orlando a lot longer than I have. I get jealous a little bit when I see all these teams, you know, the Panthers with their victory parade, and then you
Well,
I want Orlando to have a victory.
we did one for the pride,
we did,
right?
but that. I
30 people.
was at that one, and it wasn't very
Stop
big.
talking.
So,
Hey, did you see this ugly incident yesterday that happened during the Arizona Diamondbacks and Chicago White Sox game?
who are these fans?
This is despicable.
Yeah, this. I'm trying to find the guy's name.
Ketel Marte.
Yeah,
He's their second baseman for the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, his mom died in a car crash in 2017, and I guess some loser fan was heckling him about his mom's death, and the guy just started sobbing. The player started sobbing on the field, and of course the fan got thrown out. But who would even think to do that? What vermin would think to do that?
Did you, either of you guys probably did, I don't know if you saw it, but Aaron Rodgers come out about how the public just feels like they have access to everything now? Did you hear anything about that?
He was on the Pat McAfee show yesterday complaining because, he hasn't identified who his new wife is, and, it's become sort of a story. The guy's weird. He's a weirdo because he won't tell anybody who his wife is.
Yeah, because she's never been a public figure. He's like, hey, I watched the whole interview, and sure, I'm a, geek for McAfee and the crew there, but he kind of had a really good point. You're a public figure. You're in the eye. Sorry. But let her be off to the side. She's never been there. And then he went on to say that he's going to pretty much retire after the season.
Well, yeah. Okay.
So
Probably should have retired before the season.
He wants to be a private person. Okay, great, great. Then don't do Netflix series about your relationships in the past. Okay.
Oh, damn. I knew I was walking on a minefield there.
He is Mike the Bulldog Bianchi, host of Open Mic on AM 740 and FM 96.9 The Game. You can read his opinion in his sports column, OrlandoSentinel.com. And you can listen to him, on AM 740 and FM 96.9 The Game, on adjacent to us each morning, where he takes a time out to join us for the sports page on JRR. And we appreciate it, dog.
By the way, happy birthday to the great Carly Simon. Oh!
Lynch and Taco. On demand, download the iHeartRadio